What did you learn from this gathering?
I think in talking, spending, 6 hours, 12 hours total in the car with Brian and 4 days with Katie, a lot of late night talks with Katie, both who have a lot more interaction on YouTube than I do, who are both are a lot bigger than me. Um, I realized some of the frustrations that I kind of made in my last blog about things that have been bothering me, how little those things matter, how little like subscription numbers or needy people or the amount of comments or the partner program, all that stuff, how little it matters. But how much of it is like if people put if I get hung up on something and people put their shit on me, it's up to me not it's up to me to brush it off and not allow them to have not allow them to be crazy. One of the things we kind of, without saying names, we kept saying, what is wrong with people when we talk about these frustrations we have? I realize I allow it to happen to myself and allow these people to frustrate me. Um, that was a really cool experience considering the amount of time I've been doing this now. And for as much as I love the site, how much it some of the things that have been bothering me. So that's what I learned from them and how to deal with it and how to deal with it without going in that place where my mind starts spinning and I'm freaking out. So yeah, that's what I learned.
Wow, what I learned probably along similar lines, but I learned that yeah, of course, there's every type of personality that is on YouTube, but I think there's a couple things I learned. One, many of us have some part of our life, some missing piece that YouTube is filling. So as you get to know people better, you see what it is in their life that that YouTube fulfills. Um, in some cases, it's a healthy thing. In many cases, it's a healthy thing. In some cases, it's an unhealthy thing, or maybe it goes overboard a little bit. And I know I personally have gone overboard in my time on YouTube, and it's a constant vigilance I have to maintain to not allow that to happen. But basically, at heart, we're all geeks. We're all geeks. The kind of people who would go online and start video blogging about their lives are not in bed, naked, all the different ways we've been doing it. Um, it's not something that the casual, everyday person would do.
At least the people at the border would do or
That's
understand.
true. Yeah, at the border we had a lot of splaining to do.
What's YouTube? What do you mean, internet friends?
Yeah. What do you mean you do videos? What type of
What
videos?
kind of videos?
Describe them, and what do you mean you don't do a certain type of videos? You do a bunch of different kinds. Isn't there a kind that you focus on?
Wait, you met these people on the internet?
Yeah,
So telling the truth, crossing the border.
yeah. It led to lots of problems.
Anyway, sort of.
Yeah, so we're all geeks at heart, and some of us have an easier time dealing with large groups of people like this than others. But on one level or other, we're all geeks. And anybody who's too intimidated to go up and talk to somebody, remember that they're a geek just like you.
And if they give you hassle or treat you a certain way, just remember they're not then worth your time either. It's like, why are you putting them on a pedestal?
Mm-hmm.
And we all had that. We all had that with people that, whatever level you are, and it's. But also remember that if you approach somebody, it's not just for them to entertain you and stick a camera in your face and that you have to be funny and be a vlog for them or be a song and dance man, because that was an unfair thing I saw a lot of the big people do, and a few of us got it too, where somebody like sticks the camera in your face and asks you, like, they don't even say anything,
Right.
and they just walk up to you and stand by you. Think about that once for anybody thinking about going to this. when think of how that would be if you were treated that way. It's awkward. And if you're nervous, think how nervous that person is, where they act like they know you, and they just stand there and look at you, and then expect you to lead on a conversation when you don't know who they are,
Mm-hmm.
but they know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
That's a weird thing, and it's something to learn when you get starstruck, especially. It's like when you treat them like celebrities, they have to treat you a certain way back because you're placing them on a pedestal.
Right. Yeah, I'd
And
say the more just casually and normally you treat people, the more casually and normally they're going to treat you. You know, somebody's going to be interested in you if you can have a conversation with them and show them that you're interesting and show them that you're smart or funny in a regular conversation. But you have to converse to get there, and you have to be willing to approach someone. I know I've had my troubles with that.
yeah,
So, but if you,
but again, there are some of those people that enjoy the almost the paparazzi, the group of teenagers following behind them, and
Mhm.
we all saw it, but that's not the majority of the people there.
Right,
The majority of the people were cool, and they're just dealing with the circus like the rest of us are because other people place these expectations on them,
hmm
and it happens at every level. It happens at if you have 300 subscribers and somebody who just shows up has three, they will put that on the person with 300, or the person with 300 puts on the person with 1,000. It keeps going up, and it's such an arbitrary, odd thing.
hmm
That's what we kept saying with Katie is like it's such an odd thing if you think about it, and if you pull yourself back a little bit and ground yourself in reality, and these are just people all doing vlogs in bed, you kind of drop the celebrity crap and just like I don't know. It's it's amazing when you pull back and get your head out of the YouTube like celebrity circus.
You have a question for me?
Yeah, this is probably the big one right now, right?
No.
Has the PGD, the post gathering depression, set in yet?
I can honestly say that on my part, so far, it hasn't. Uh, this is the day we drove back to Chicago, and it's also the day all of our friends were flying home and driving home. And thanks to Twitter, this is really the first gathering where we've been getting real time updates on each other's progress during the day. So I know where all our friends are and whether they're at home or not and where they are. And so far, I really haven't, the depression hasn't hit yet, partially because I haven't had to leave every last one of my friends behind yet.
It's we've been weaning ourselves off.
Yeah. It's like, okay, there were three of us. First, there were three of us in the car, and then we dropped Brian off, and there were two of us, and there still are two of us, and then tomorrow we'll be down to our individual selves again. But I know where my friends are. Some of them are still together in groups, so they haven't all separated either, and and I'm just very hopeful. After this one, I feel like I feel so close and so connected to an even larger circle of people than when I went to this gathering that I just have every confidence we're going to make it happen. We're going to make sure to see each other again. I
Yeah,
don't know how long it'll be, but it's not going to be that long.
that is weird. It's the group. All that happened for me is the group of people I was close to got bigger, or the closeness got deeper.
hmm
Um, I think for me, it set in a few times today
hmm
when these realizations would happen, or I'd see a certain Twitter. Um, yeah, the Twitter thing is weird. How that did add to this, like driving home and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, a bunch of us were driving home at the same time, so we were all kind of twittering, "I'm here, I'm there," but missing my friends, or just still kind of connected.
I think tomorrow, for me, drive. I have 3 hours to go. I think it's gonna be a long drive. Um, yeah, without, I'm sure there'll be a vlog about that.
Yeah,
Um,
or a vlog from that.
yeah,